Hello, today we are going to look at how to record your offerings, church offering, whether individual or collective church offering after church service. So we are in our dashboard. Let's go to our side menu and go to finance and accounting. Good. So under finance and accounting, you see money in over here. So under the money in, you will see contribution center, you will see the offerings, you see tithes, donation and giving categories. So today we are covering the offering. So let's click on the offering over here. Then the offering page comes. So we see this is where all the offering input and collections are recorded and, and can be referenced anytime. Good. So when you come to add offering, the button over here, this is where we add all the offering, whether it's a collective offering at the end of the Sunday service or individual that brought in their offering for admin to record or for the finance officer to record individually. So let's click on the add offering. So good. So this is the modal that shows the form that shows us to record the offering. So over here we see individual offering. So that is when we are recording the offering for an individual church member. So you see it captures a member, a guest or anonymous contribution with a category selection. So if it is a collective offering that is recorded, it records a group offering for a service or a specific category. So let's say it's a Sunday service or it's a midweek service. At the end of the service, all the offering that was collected, we come into our platform and we enter it specifically. So when we click on the collective offering over here, so you see collective offerings have no individual giver. So it means that it was an offering that was collected together during a service, a church service or a church meeting. So you toggle the regular service offering. So if this was collected during a service, a church service, then it will be auto categorized under collective service offering. So you see that. Otherwise, you pick a category below. Good. So you can just check here if this is a regular service offering that was collected. If it is not a regular service offering, maybe it's a collective offering, but it's for a purpose. So with that one, you come and select which purpose that falls under. Maybe it was a collective offering for church building project or for a bus or is a charity donation or any other. But if it's a regular service offering that was collected during a service or during a church meeting, then you can basically toggle it over here. Good. So over here you select the branch. So you can basically also attribute a collective offering to a specific branch if your church already has multiple branches. So this offering is from which of the branches? So you can select. If it is from the main church, you see it over here, main church. Then you select the main church. And over here, this is very important. So this is deposit to account. So before you can even add an offering, you have to first of all create an account in the system that will collect all the offering as you want for accounting and reconciliation and financial report sake. You see that over here. Good. So after selecting that account that you create, then you come to which meeting, because we say that it's a regular service offering. So which of the services was this offering collected? So you select whether it's a Sunday service or a midweek service. As you enter this one, I entered them for this church. So these are Sunday services. I will show you where you can add all of that and the amount that was collected, the transaction reference, which is optional, and the payment method. So if the collective offering was all cash, then you can select cash. Then the date the offering was collected, you see over here for accounting purposes. So you can select the date because there are instances where maybe after the Sunday service, after counting and everything, we were able to come into the system maybe on the following day, which is Monday. So in that case, when we are entering, we can specifically select the date the offering was taken. Good. So before we come to save offering, let me show you the two important places that we saw. The deposit to account. So the account is over here. If you come to account and reconciliation, you come to account. So I click on the account and it brings us to the accounts page. So here we select the accounts that the church has. So if you come to add account, you see over here account type. The church has bank account, Momo account, or there is a cash account that the church has available for petty expenses and all that. So whatever account that the church has, we can create it over here. Then we can specifically assign any given offering or tithe to that account. So I've already added some accounts over here. So you see, I have EcoBank account that I added. Okay, I have this account that I called offering. I have this account that I call petty cash account. So what it means is that at the end of every Sunday, most churches, after the collective offering, all the offering is sent to a bank. So assuming it is an EcoBank account that we send the offering to at the end of the Sunday meeting, good. Then we can create an account over here. So let me use an example. Let me use let's say GT Bank as an example. So the church has a GT Bank, and that is the I select a bank account. So this particular account is a bank account. The opening balance. So as at the time that the church is using this software and adding the account, the church already has a GT Bank account already. And what is the opening balance in that account? Let's say currently that GT Bank account, there is 10,000 Ghana cedis currently in that bank account. So I can enter that as the opening balance for accounting purposes, so that at any point in time when you come into the system, it will tally the exact amount in the bank. You get it? When we go to the GT Bank, we will be able to see that it's tally. So we enter the opening balance, the current bank balance in the GT Bank over here. Then we select which branch does this account belong to. So let's say it's for the main branch, and the name, let's say GT Bank. And let's enter the account number. Okay, so we can do the description GT Bank. That's fine. So we click create account. Good. Our account is created successfully, and when we come here, we see GT Bank, and this is the bank that's showing over here. So currently, this is the current balance, the 10,000, which is in the bank account right now. Good. So when we come to money in and we come to offering, then when we are entering, let's say, a collective offering from a church service, let's say this, let me first do a collective offering for a certain project. So let's say this particular offering that we collected together at church is towards a building project that people gave. Powerful. Then we select the branch, which the main branch. Then we come here and select the GT Bank account. You see it over here, 10,000 Ghana cedis currently inside. So we are saying that for the building project, we send all offering for building projects into the GT Bank account. So over here, you come and select the GT Bank account. So you can add multiple accounts, and you can direct any offering amount or any giving to any bank as the church does it. And we select the meeting, which meeting that this was given and order. So what was the total collective amount offering that came in? So let's say it's 2,000 in all, and it was cash and the date, let's say it was today, then offering recorded successfully. So over here, when we come, you see it's collective service offering, and Sunday service at the main branch, and the amount is over here 2,000 cedis. So when we come to, we can view the detail of that particular offering. This is the details. So the amount is 2,000 cedis. On Monday, 10th August, it was collected, and the account that this amount went inside is the GT Bank, and this is the category. All right, now let's come to the account section over here, and we will see that the GT Bank over here, now you see the total amount is 12,000, because currently, initially we had 10,000 inside. Now we added the collective offering inside, and the total is now 12,000. So this is how the collective offering works. Now we can equally record offering. Let's say after the service, after the church has sent the offering to the bank, individual people came or sent their offering individually, and we need to also enter that to add that to the church bank balance. So in this case, you select the individual offering. Then if the person sending the offering, we have the person already in the church database, we can just basically search the person over here. So let's say the person is Kofi Mensah, we can search the person over here, Kofi Mensah. Then which category did Kofi Mensah give? Let's say it's a normal offering. That's fine. From the main branch. And which account are we sending this particular offering to? So let's say if it is EcoBank account, we can select it. If you are equally sending that to the GT Bank, that's fine. We can select which account, then select the service, fine. Then what is the amount that this person gave? Let's say 200 cedis. Then it was cash, and the offering date is now. Then we can click on Save Offering. Alright, so offering recorded successfully, so that we see it over here. Kofi Mensah gave 200 cedis, and the transaction is completed because he gave it directly to the church. Good. Now, if we add for an individual, the individual will get an email notification that their offering has been received and completed. So same way we can view the details of that as well. So all that we are seeing over here, with even adding the individual offering for the person, the individual church members have their own portal accounts that they can log in, and they will see sidebar menu which pertains to them alone, and over there they can directly give to the church. The church details will show. But before they are able to do that, church admin has to enter the church account details. When the church admin comes to payment integration over here, and click on the payment integration, this is where the church configure all the payment method that they use to collect offering, whether online or any other means. So if it is mobile money, if the church has a Telecel cash, Airtel money, or even a bank account. So over here, I've configured mobile money accounts. You see it over here. Good. So meaning that when an individual church member logs into their own portal, they will see the account details, and they are able to give to the church to that particular account that they will select. So if there is an online payment, we support currently Paystack. So if the church has a Paystack account, they can configure the details over here. Go to paystack.com, create an account, create a business, then they can get their public key and their secret key, enter it over here, and when the member chooses pay online, then they will see Paystack and directly pay to church account via Paystack. So basically, this is how the offering is recorded for the church. So in the next video, we will look at how the tithes and the other donations also works. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial on recording church offering using the FlockSuite church management system. Thank you.